Dr. Amelia Chen stood before the ancient royal crest, a relic from the First Imperium that predated even the oldest star charts. She was supposed to be cataloging it for the museum, a routine assignment for a junior xenoarchaeologist. Nothing about this should have been remarkable. She placed her hand on the crystalline surface, following protocol to test its responsiveness. The crest had been dormant for millennia, its original purpose lost to time. Most scholars believed it was purely decorative, a symbol of power from a civilization long extinct. The entire chamber went white. Alarms shrieked through the museum. Emergency containment fields activated around the artifact, but not to protect it from her, to protect others from what the crest was broadcasting. The ancient device glowed with an intensity that hurt to look at directly, and across every screen in the facility, a single message appeared in pristine, automated script. Genetic signature recognized. Origin, Earth. Authority level, absolute. Lockdown initiated. All personnel stand down. The museum director, an elderly Vextarian named Krell, rushed into the chamber. Dr. Chen, step away from, he stopped mid-sentence as the containment fields shifted, creating a protective perimeter around Amelia instead of isolating the artifact. What have you done? I don't know, Amelia whispered, staring at her hand. I just touched it. Within hours, the planet's governing council had surrounded the museum. Within a day, ships from 3 different interstellar powers had arrived. Within a week, the entire galactic community knew, a human from Earth had activated the royal crest, and the system had declared her authority absolute. No one knew what that meant. The scholars came next. Historians, xenoarchaeologists, and ancient linguists from 100 different worlds gathered to study the phenomenon. The consensus was baffling. The royal crest belonged to the first ones, beings so ancient that their civilization predated recorded history. They had seeded worlds, influenced the development of countless species, and then vanished without explanation. And according to genetic markers buried in the crest's quantum database, humans were their direct descendants. This is impossible, argued Professor Z.H. Thek, a silicate being whose crystalline mind processed information with perfect logic. Humans evolved on a single planet in an isolated sector. There's no possibility they possess first-one genetics. And yet, replied Dr. Orias, a scholar from the Ethereal Council, the crest doesn't lie. It's a first-one device, calibrated to recognize their bloodline with absolute precision. Dr. Chen's DNA matched perfectly. Amelia herself sat in a secure chamber, watched by representatives from every major power, as they debated her significance. She felt like a living artifact, analyzed, theorized about, feared, and revered in equal measure. The breakthrough came when an ancient database was recovered from the crest's memory systems. It contained fragments of first-one historical records, translated automatically into modern languages. What emerged was a shocking revelation: the first ones hadn't disappeared. They had deliberately scattered their pure genetic line across multiple worlds, hiding it among developing species. They created safeguards, devices like the royal crest, that would recognize their bloodline if it ever emerged. The reason was preparation. A message, degraded by time but still coherent, played across every screen in the galaxy. If you are hearing this, a descendant of the first ones has been found. This is no coincidence. We seeded our genetics into species capable of survival on the harshest worlds because we knew what was coming. We encountered something beyond our understanding, something that made us retreat. We encoded our knowledge, our warnings, and our authority into safeguards. When one of our descendants awakens the crest, they must be told, the threat is returning. Silence fell across the galactic community. Commander Vexthar of the Coalition asked the question everyone was thinking: what threat? The database offered no answer. But it did offer something else, a detailed file on Earth. Centuries of hidden observations. Records of humanity's evolution, their struggles, their wars, their capacity for both incredible cruelty and astonishing compassion. And a single note from the first ones, written in their ancient language but translated clearly. We selected Earth's inhabitants specifically. They are descended from a world of predators and prey, storms and survival, disease and adaptation. They are the only species we found who thrive in chaos. When the old threat returns, they will be needed. Not as leaders. Not as rulers. But as survivors. Amelia stood before the Galactic Council, the Crest's authority now flowing through her genetic markers, giving her a voice that could not be denied or overruled. "I don't know what's coming," she said quietly. "But I know what we need to do. We need to prepare. We need to learn from species who understand survival at the deepest level. We need to stop being afraid of Deathworlders and start learning from them." The ancient device hummed softly, its judgment confirmed. The first ones had chosen well. Earth's time had finally come.